1905. In Lincoln and Grand Island and online at sartorheyman.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
93.7 The Ticket Sports News go now.
This is Nick Wyman with your sports update. Top-ranked Arizona's undefeated start to the season came to an end yesterday in a 82-78 loss to number 9 Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse. The Jayhawks handed the Wildcats their first loss of the campaign, despite Darren Peterson not playing for Kansas. With the loss, only one undefeated team remains in Division I college basketball, with that being Miami of Ohio, who have an overall record of 24-0. Nebraska softball went 3-2 overall this past weekend at the UTSA Invitational. The Huskers collected wins over Washington, UTSA, and top-ranked Texas over the weekend in San Antonio. Up next, Nebraska will travel to Clearwater, Florida for the Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational next weekend. The Huskers will open the tournament at 9 a.m. Central Time against number 16 LSU on Thursday, February 12th. The game will be televised on ESPN2. In the college football world, North Dakota State University announced it has accepted an invitation to join the Mountain West Conference as an affiliate member for football, competing at the Football Bowl subdivision level beginning in the fall of 2026. The Bison will join the Mountain West football lineup consisting of Northern Illinois, UTEP, Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Jose State, UNLV, and Wyoming for the 2026 college football season. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Welcome in. It's the Don't Punt Hour. We got the morning Pierson-El. The host, as always, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. And we just got done with the thriller of a basketball game that unfortunately did not go on our side. But the morning Pierson-El, how's it going, man? It's not spring, but you might think it is due to the weather on February 10th.
Not too bad, a little frustrated with not cleaning getting the floors wiped down, but it's real bad.
Did Purdue do it?
I
don't think they did, to be honest, but just
that's bad management. Bad management all night. Bad management. Not from the coach's standpoint, just operation or whatnot.
Yeah, and just on a quick side note, I know Nick Wyman texted me this as well, and he's right. If you think Purdue's pouring water on the floor, it's our court. You go wipe that up. You make sure that thing's dry. Whoever the home court is, it's your responsibility to keep that floor dry. So I'm not going to go on a big conspiracy at any point tonight or tomorrow saying Purdue intentionally soaked the court with water, knowing that's where Jamarcus Lawrence would gather the ball. But nonetheless, tough loss. Ugly first half for Nebraska. Incredible second half. Great first half for Purdue. Horrible second half for Purdue. What are your initial thoughts? This was the most, I don't know, roller coaster of a game I think I've ever watched.
I mean, it's late in the season and everything like that. Clearly, it things just started slow, and it might have been, off night or whatnot, or something like that. But they got back into it. Rink Mass fouled out at the end of, I think,
regulation.
At the end of regulation and everything like that. So you have him in overtime and everything like that. I obviously thinks this game goes different, but there were a number of things necessarily that Nebraska just didn't take care. They didn't play, fundamentally sound. You can say like it was a decent half of basketball, and you lost by 3.
Yeah, and this is where it's so weird talking about this game, because I'm not going to talk about this for. We will switch things up because I'm sure me and Nick Wyman will talk Husker hoops again later. You go to the team stats. So Nebraska had 59 shots. Purdue had 76 shots. And obviously that's due to the rebounding. The rebounding battle was 54-37. Obviously in Purdue's favor if you had eyes and watched the game. And then you go to the assist, you're tied there. But then you get to the free throws. Purdue was 11 for 20 on free throws. Nebraska also not great. We were 13 for 20. But the actual field goal percentages for Nebraska, we were 44%. Purdue was 37%. 3-point line. Nebraska actually shot nearly 40% from 3. It was a great game from beyond the arc. Purdue shot an ice cold 28%. They, despite shooting the ball 76 times, they only had 2 more makes than Nebraska. And I don't think I've ever seen a stat like that where a game is this close. So again, it's like it's kind of the good, the bad, the ugly, where there's some parts of this that were just really hard to watch.
It just wasn't a complete game. It wasn't even, mostly complete. They dug themselves in the hole time and time again, or, they got out of the hole and then kind of let them back into it. It was just cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry all night.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It was like watching Tom and Jerry back in the day. It was just a back and forth battle. Has your opinion changed on Husker hoops at all?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know there's always a little bit of outrage after tough losses. I think
they went on they had an incredible run. Things happen and everything like that. Like you're going to have off nights, or it's not gonna, at times it's gonna look, sluggish. You're going to be tired. There are a number of things necessarily. It just, for whatever reason, it might have not just been on tonight, and they still lost by 3 by a terrible first half.
More than a terrible first half. That might be the worst start I think Nebraska's had all year. It was
all year. Yes, probably yes.
Yeah, if we want to talk history, DeBornay.
I was about to say I don't know. Last year there were a few games that resembled or looked like that. In the second half, it turned on.
Well, I want to say last year we lost to Purdue. It was like 68 to like 90 something. So yeah, we've gotten absolutely blown out of the water in previous years. So I'm not super dejected. I keep saying it. The good thing is it's not March.
No.
Like we get to keep playing more basketball games. And I do want to shout out the fans though, because the vault was awesome. I know I got to hear Austin and Jake Sorensen and Raph, or excuse me, not Raph. He wasn't at the game. He's down there in Alabama. But from some of the ticket listeners as well, that crowd stay engaged. They suffered through a 1-14. They suffered through just, again, a really tough first half, being down 22 points. They stayed committed, and it actually worked out in a big way, because I don't know how many free throws they miss unless that place is just rocking top to bottom. So shout out to all the Husker fans that went to the game and stayed at the game, because I do think that had an element of those guys missing those free throws, because again, just on TV, you can almost see the cameras shaking. So I do want to put that out there. If you guys want to talk about the game, 402-464-5685. Yeah, well, so we got this part. We got Kyle Thomas. He's a Purdue fan. He chimed in on the last segment as well. But again, he says, just the tough part of the schedule. We lost 3 straight. Illinois just lost their second. This is the best we've played in about a month. we're at this point of the season where teams are starting to gun and get in position, and no one's going to take each other lightly. Like Nebraska understands it's in a battle for what it was for that 1 seed. Now you're trying to be in that 1 through 5 conversation. And for Purdue, I mean, a lot of people were projecting you already as a favorite for the Final Four. And, after a performance like that, maybe I bolster them up a little bit. But they're, despite only having 4 losses, even that's kind of like not good enough for Purdue, which just goes to all the credit that how great of a coach Painter is. But also, that's a damn good program that we were competing against. So as bad as we were on rebounding,
we still held our own on a bad night.
Absolutely. You have to applaud Nebraska's defense because I think, some of it, I was surprised how many threes Purdue was willing to take despite being up and having the size differential. But at the same time, that's Nebraska's defense. That's what they do every game. They give you, they'll force you baseline and trap and not give you all the way. And then it's up to you to kick it outside and find that open 3-point shooter. They were finding the open 3-point shooter, but Nebraska was doing a much better job on getting their hands up, contesting a lot of those threes. So it worked. So, some of it, maybe it was the coaching. It's also Nebraska's defense was doing what it was supposed to do in that first half. I don't know if any lockers got kicked or punched, but I'll tell you what, I'm sure Nate Lenzer had some strong words for that defense. And then Hoiberg probably had some strong words for that offense. I was a little bit surprised we didn't see, was that last year or this year where he punched a locker and he had his hand taped up coming out of the half?
I think that was last year.
I think you might have been right. That might have been last year. Let's get to another texter. 3203 chimes in, says Nebraska had 1 more field goal than they did turnovers at halftime, and Purdue had more rebounds than we did points. That is the craziest.
It was just a sloppy game. Like it's one of them. I don't know if I don't want to say a fatigue game, but I mean that possibly could have been it. Could have been it. It just it took some time. They didn't they didn't hit the hot tubs enough to be warmed up to get going early.
How big is the size problem going to be? Like, because in this game, I think if Purdue does a better job shooting, they probably beat us pretty significantly. In the rebounding, just to give you some numbers, the duo for Purdue, you had Kaufman. He gave them 19 rebounds. And
I mean, they like you can say that now because it's evident after a loss. But I mean, how many other teams did they face up until this point where they had to match up against size and whatnot? So I don't. I mean, unless it's like a team like A&M from a few years ago to where athletically it's just, it might be a little bit too much to handle and everything like that. I think the coaching staff does a really good job of having a game plan majority of the time. They typically execute, the players execute and everything like that. So I don't think like the size of things or whatnot will be a huge advantage. Now, will there be some teams that absolutely like you'll run into that, like Houston or Auburn last year, like teams like that, like athletically and big, like there aren't too many teams like that that like are peaking right now or really out there, in college football on that level. Last year was crazy. You had Alabama was another team that was hot and kind of in that same realm and everything like that. So unless you run into something like that, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. It's going to be necessarily showing up, executing, because we know that the coaching staff is going to have a game plan for something. At that point, it just comes down to hopefully it's not an off night, and hopefully things are going how they typically or have been this whole season.
Yeah, and so you look at the 3 losses Nebraska has. It was Michigan, who the size battle certainly.
And you can say that we were down starters, so okay.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong here, but you found a way to keep it close without 2 of your top 3 scorers. Illinois was the only one that was like a blowout, where I thought Illinois offensively did a really good job exposing how Nebraska's defense likes to kind of overhelp at times. Mm-hmm. And in this game, the help looked a lot better. They weren't willing to get as far away, or they're a lot better getting back at those guys on defense. And I think they had like one good lob. Illinois was abusing that pretty much all night long. So they have made some adjustments defensively. This rebounding battle was just tough. I don't think Nebraska's as bad on the glass as they showed tonight. This was kind of a unique one. Some of it, just some really
Purdue came in here and snuck away with one. That's what happened.
And then there's some other guys. It's not all on Rinkmaster, Burke as well. Like some of the guards, you got to go out there and help. Like you saw that with Purdue, where their bigs were getting a lot of rebounds, but it was also their guards doing a good job, just tipping passes, keeping it alive, not making an easy board. And for the bigs, you're there. You just got to go grab the body and make sure you can feel him for when he's going for that ball. I mean, as long as you're in front of him, you can get a push in the back. And the officials, you hope they call it. If they don't, do it again. Eventually they'll see it and start keeping an eye for it. So at least it's fixable. I think the rebounding is going to always be a battle for this team because they're just not as tall as some of the other teams in the Big Ten. But at the end of the day, to your point, Michigan was close. This game was really close. Illinois was the only blowout, and we already beat those guys at their court on the road. So Nebraska, to me, is kind of exactly where Ken Pom said they were. When we were as high as number 5 in the country, I don't like using advanced metrics all the time, but the advanced metrics always said, this is still a very good team, maybe top 10, maybe top 15, but maybe not so much in that 1 through 5 area. Now, I think they can still work up into that. And part of that is figuring out the glass in some of those areas so you can turn some of these close wins or close losses into dominant wins or close wins versus really good opponents. But again, the metrics are all kind of lining up that this team is still really, really good, but it is about kind of in that top 15, top maybe like 10 through 5 category, which if I would have told you that at the beginning of the year, hey, our only losses are going to be versus 2 top 10 ranked teams in Illinois and Michigan and a 13 ranked Purdue, but we'll win every other game and we'll have multiple blowouts.
You'll take that.
Exactly. You'll take that in a heartbeat because you look at the recruiting ground that Fred Hoiberg has put down already in some of the visits. Hey, people are looking at Nebraska with a new eye. And this loss, as much as it hurts, it's not going to change the momentum that Nebraska has created. Like
you got to get back on track and string things together and everything like that. It's the tough part. It's later in the season and everything like that. It's you kind of got to weather the storm. It happens.
Absolutely. And in that Illinois game as well, you had a rink mask who threw up 15 times the night before the game, who looked like it throughout the game. He just wasn't himself. And then you also had Sam Hoiberg, looked like, I can't tell, it looked like his shoulder was bothering him. But that was also another game where you weren't at full strength. And then Wagler decided to go nuclear, which he's a very, very good player. So maybe you do have to anticipate that for Illinois. But yeah, I'm not dejected whatsoever. I was dejected initially because, of course, like that was such an anticlimactic finish. The slip on the court kind of being the last time Nebraska has an opportunity. But at the same time, what a hell of an effort to fight through that. And again, as much as I want to say Purdue's offense was interesting in the second half, Nebraska gets a hand in the credit for making them go on that 3-point shot and relying on that. Because they did the same thing versus Oregon. Like Purdue was in control. They started yucking up threes because Oregon had some height inside and Purdue was just kind of, I don't know, getting lazy or just not really forcing the issue, thinking that they had it taken care of. I'll tell you this much. No one still wants to play Nebraska basketball because even if you're up 22, they're coming.
Easily. That's a matchup that, is going to give most coaches, any coaches, trouble sleeping.
Yeah. And some of the things that, like, we didn't see a full game out of Price Sanford. He still played very good. Don't get me wrong. But I always use Keisei Tamanaga. I think for me, the next part of his game, because you're seeing teams just lock into him so much. And in the second half, he usually starts to find a little bit of slivers of room where he can start doing some damage. Take a page out of that Keisei Tamanaga book where they're predicting your movements so much because they're so worried about you. Just be 2 steps ahead. You know what they're going to do and how hard they're going to sell out to not let you shoot that 3 ball. That's where you pull the Tamanaga special.
Back to back.
When you get back door or when you have that ball and you're dribbling on the arc, just keep dribbling. Like a lot of times they'll be so caught off guard, like you'll penetrate into the lane and maybe it's not your shot, but
Just turn the corner. Be on the attack to where they got to account for it.
Exactly. Just turn the corner. Because he's shown that when he does do that, he does have some pretty good finishing abilities. And usually if you got him chasing like that, you're going to have an easy pass somewhere to set somebody else up on the team. And this is not to say that Price Sanford needs to work on it. Like, he's still a really good player as he is. But if he wants to get to that like next level where he's almost unstoppable at the college level, I think that's where it starts for him, is how do I start manipulating the way the defense wants to take away my 3-point shot? But nonetheless, great game. We'll put a pin on it for now because, like I said, I'm sure me and Nick will revisit that conversation at least to a small degree later. This is the Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El. The host, as always, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I didn't see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give
John Henry's
a call or text today.
435-5555.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road. Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. February's cream cheese flavor is white chocolate raspberry. Pair it with a strawberry cold foam. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. And let's talk a little bit of Super Bowl. I haven't talked to you about it yet. Yikes for one team. Yikes for all the fans. It was not like the most entertaining game to watch whatsoever. Just what are your initial thoughts? Obviously, Seahawks win it in a pretty dominant fashion.
I think that was the first time like you see really seeing Drake May in a sophomore slump. And like he still ended up with over 300 yards of passing. Like it wasn't a terrible game necessarily by him. It was just a terrible showing from the offensive side. But New England's defense was handling business. I mean, they gave up one offensive touchdown, and that was late, So, I mean, people could say, oh, it was boring, this and that or whatnot, but football fans, people who enjoy football and everything like that, that was a chess match. And, I mean, both defenses were honestly really teeing off on things and everything like that. I don't know how Seattle is going to keep everything situated or whatnot, because you got some people that are coming up that you're going to have to pay. I don't know if allegedly, I don't know if they are selling the team or not. That was mentioned and everything like that. But I mean, well done by both coaching staffs to get to that point. Both of those teams were easily the most dominant team in their division, even before getting to the divisional round. And we can say what we want to say about, Denver and everything like that. I still think, even with Bo Nix playing, I still think it would have been New England.
Really? I don't think it's that. To your point, though, I will say this. Both teams deserve to be there. They won. And it's not scripted, because why the hell would the NFL pick those two teams if it was scripted? I mean, those two teams deserve to be there. It was well earned. Like, getting to the Super Bowl is such a hard thing to do. I never played in the NFL. You don't have to be a genius to figure out it's hard to do. That's why dynasties are incredibly rare to come by. Drake May, you could talk about the schedule that they had. They beat the teams they were supposed to, right? The Green Bay Packers, they lost to the Browns and the Panthers and some of these teams that they were supposed to have wins. A lot of these teams, like, you can't tell me the Ravens didn't have some very winnable games that they just dropped. The Chiefs playing some opponents that they should beat, they dropped. Well, the Patriots had those games, and they didn't drop them. They won like they were supposed to. So I agree with you. I don't like the idea of just taking it away from the Patriots. Like, well, yep, see, we told you. No, they still deserve to be there. And that was a really good defense. Like, Sam Darnold didn't look comfortable in the entire first half. That's why they had 3 field goals. And I think it was like, 9-0 going into half? Yeah, so it's not like that team didn't have any business. They unfortunately just couldn't get that offense in motion and humming, and that's
Sam Darnold missed, I think, 2 shots in the first half. He had Shaheed
wide open
on one, and just missed him. I mean, he missed him twice. The play that they give Christian credit for and everything like that, he's late on that pass. If he throws that on time like that, that's a touchdown. And I understand you're going to get to all pro guy there, like, you got to be right. But I mean, if he throws that early enough, that could be a touchdown. It just the big plays that should have been made just weren't.
Well, and there's some opportunities too. Like at one point, I think it was the Seahawks' first touchdown, or maybe it's their second. The Patriots had it in their hands. Two hands just dropped it. Should have been an interception. And that was the one that, really started pushing the Seahawks ahead.
The first play of the game should have been a pick six the other way. 25 jumped it. He had it. And for whatever reason, that should have been pick six the other way. Game starts completely different. The first play, he jumped it, read it perfectly, and I don't know what happened.
I think he was just as surprised it was the first play of the game. He was like, oh, pick six to start off the Super Bowl. That's a lot to take in all at once there. But, if you like a good defensive battle, it was good. The one thing that was impressive was those teams were aggressive, dialing up blitzes. I mean, both sides, especially in that first half, it was like, we're not going to let either quarterback get comfortable. The Patriots' goal was not letting Sam Darnold have time to sit there and look downfield. And same thing for the Seahawks. The Seahawks were banking on Drake May. Use your checkdowns every time or look for the first guy and just throw it because pressure was coming. And there was in the game they're rushing 4 and they were still able to get pressure. But I think a lot of that was the momentum was starting to take over.
Their second half adjustments kicked in late. If they'd have played how they played with 7 minutes left, halfway through the third, it might have been a game. But for whatever reason, coming out of halftime and everything like that, it took a little minute for the Patriots' adjustment on the offensive side to take hold.
That's fair. I mean, there was no offense early on. So there was so many third and longs, and that's what I mean with Drake May. And again, he's a second-year guy in the Super Bowl. He's doing all right for himself. But that's to me where he needed to avoid those sacks. Anything you can.
It wasn't even, and you can say that, but I mean, that offensive line was under fire from the start.
But to my point, that first half they were dialing up blitzes, and it's easier said than done, right? I'm not here to say Drake May played horrible because you actually look at Darnold's completion numbers. It's not like he had an excellent game either. But that's where the game had to be won is if you're not going to get the defensive pick six, which you really should have had to your point, you're going to have to figure out a way to beat that rush that's coming your way. And like I said, it's easier said than done. It's not all on Drake May's fault. Again, at times they rushed 4 and they were getting pressure, which that's obviously not on the quarterback. But other times you should start noticing the pressure and they keep sending it at you. Just do anything you can, even if you're just throwing it away. Just try to avoid that sack, and I think he'll get better. Again, this is a second-year guy in the Super Bowl, but that was
a first time. I don't want to say the first time because I felt like there was one other time or a few other times maybe in this season, but he looked rattled and the youngness showed. Like his NFL experience was out there, and they exploited it, they capitalized on it, and it's not to say, like I said, I mean, he was definitely concerned for a certain side of the offensive line, and life was coming at him fast.
Yeah, in a big way, so much so that even his offensive linemen were running into him because they were getting bull rushed so bad. And I know Will Campbell got so much heat after this. He's also a rookie. I mean, maybe my stock took a little bit of dip on him, but not by a lot. I mean, he's only going to get bigger. He's going to keep.
I mean, he got hurt halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think he came out and said some other things was hurt or whatnot. It wasn't his best showing. You're going to. I mean, that defensive line were all veterans, maybe outside of maybe one person or one or two, because I think Byron is year 2 maybe or drafted. So I mean, he had a lot to handle it, and it might have messed up with his confidence. You in your head, and because you know it's your fault. So I mean that's not a good place to necessarily be, to where you getting pushed back into the quarterback's like their lap, they're running around you. You're the reason why turnovers are kind of happening. So, I mean, it's a lot at that point in time. I'm pretty sure he will definitely attack the offseason and change up, his game and everything like that. I don't think it's from a talent standpoint and everything like that. Is just you got to understand, it's a different beast that you're going against. It's not the same as college.
Well, and that defense was so good.
That's a grown man's defense.
Yeah, there's a reason they were in the Super Bowl. You did better than the 49ers, who only had 6. You know what I mean? Like, the Rams or the Seahawks, I thought whoever wins this game is going to be the Super Bowl, because I thought both those teams were really, really impressive. And not to take it away from Drake May or the Broncos, but again, I was just looking at the NFC. It's like, wow, it's how good that Seahawks defense is and how good Stafford of a season he's having, being able to dial up these plays. Again, if you just go look at what the Seahawks have done, again, the Rams seem to be like one of the few teams that's actually able to get some offense going, and Stafford was so good about picking apart zones if you want to play zone. But again, in the
he's seen it. I mean, he's been around the league for 14, 15 years, so he knows all the coordinators. He's played them at least 5-6 times, depending on where that guy was at. So it's not anything that he hasn't necessarily seen. You just got to give him enough time to get to where he needs to go with the ball.
And I think that's what you needed going against the Seahawks defense, was some reps under your belt to understand these defensive systems and how they're going to attack you. Because again, the 49ers, they got held to 6 in the divisional round, and just some of the regular season games. I mean, they held the Vikings in a shutout. The Falcons only scored 9 on them. The 49ers, the first time around before the playoffs, only got 3 points. So actually, they doubled what their offense did in the playoffs. Unfortunately, it was only 3 points more. But their entire regular season, go find a team that really lit up the scoreboard on them. It's the Rams, and I think that's honestly about it.
A divisional opponent.
Yeah. Or excuse me, and the Buccaneers earlier in the year. But as the season just kept chiming along, I mean, this defense was pretty legit all year long. I don't think anyone was too surprised by it. And then the other part, huge game for Kenneth Walker. I mean, I was a little bit surprised they didn't go with him more early, but I don't know what his not yak yards, but after contact yards looked like.
It was something crazy. It was something crazy. I can't remember. They said it. I just can't remember exactly what it was. But, I mean, he cashed in a huge check. I mean, he's a free agent because he got drafted 2nd round. So this is a contract year. So, I mean, you can franchise tag him, but if he's not franchise tagged, I mean, you got teams like the Cowboys need a running back. They got money to spend on it. I mean, I love Javonte Williams. I think he was fine down there. So they may or may not. They may stick with the hot hand. But you got Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs a running back. Washington, they need a running back. So
that'd be a good fit at Washington too.
I
like that.
He's gonna command a lot, and he's gonna be one of their higher paid guys. Like you're just gonna have to do it. He is a solid piece, especially with your offensive coordinator departing and coming in and everything like that. You need to keep certain pieces on the offense to kind of repeat or do certain things.
Yeah, and he is one of the no-brainers after that performance. Anything else that we missed in the Super Bowl that really stuck out other than Myers? What a day! Really highlighted for the kickers.
Shout out to the Raiders for making the right decision and getting the coach. I mean, other than that,
Well, we can talk about that a little bit. So don't go anywhere. On the other side, we'll dive into it. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll talk to you in a bit.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Blake Farm Outfitters, and we're all about equipping the modern farmer. Our team is Nebraska's go-to for precision planting, SurePoint liquid systems, green eye spot spray, and more. So whether you're considering an equipment upgrade, adding new tech, or just need a trained eye to service what you have, check us out. Creep on us at BoyckFarmOutfitters.com and get connected with our team of experts. We're excited to help you find what's next. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating
and electrical.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and braised tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got DeMornay Pierson-El, the host as always. And the Raiders might have some new hope. Raiders, Clint Kubiak confirmed he's headed to the Raiders as head coach after the Seahawks Super Bowl win. DeMornay Pierson-El, the Raiders fan himself, former Raiders player. Your thoughts?
I like it. I mean, I think that's the best move out there. I mean, clearly that's been done and situated a while back. It was kind of the understanding. I mean, if they decide to go with the first pick and everything like that, you got an offensive-minded coach. Even if I don't know if Gino was there or not, but even if you do draft him or whatnot, you got a lot of weapons on the offensive side. You got a lot to work with, and it'll definitely make things interesting. But it was I think definitely one of the better hires in this coaching carousel.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing against it. Again, you kind of knew waiting for the shoe to drop there, especially with the way the Raiders were handling the coaching hire was like, okay, they must have a guy in mind and they're waiting for something in the playoffs. I think it's great. Obviously, you look at what they've done this year, and some of it's impressive with Sam Darnold, but also, he got Sam Darnold into a brand new system and had that thing working to the point to where they got it running enough to go in a Super Bowl. Obviously a really great defense alongside it to help, but it's not like they were winning games, 17-10, although they were winning some games, 37-10, but that offense was certainly good enough. And, you saw some players kind of break out of their shell again, that the guys that we knew had a lot of talent be in a system that really suited them well. So I think it's great for the Raiders. Would you still take Mendoza with this hire? Or would you trade, or would you take somebody else? Where would you go?
There's a lot of things on the table with that one. That's a loaded question. You got to kind of address the Max Crosby situations. If they do move on from Max Crosby and they get, he's gonna get, if they do move on, they're gonna get 2 first round draft picks. That's going to happen. So if that's the case and everything like that, then I think absolutely you go ahead and get Mendoza with your first. You're the first overall pick, and then with that second one later in the round or wherever it is and everything like that, there's other things that you can be addressed. But that's a loaded question. I got a question for you though. What organization made the best hire this whole coaching? Like which hire sticks out the best to you?
Oh, I know you're not gonna. Well, maybe. I actually think Mike McCarthy. Steelers. I've always kind of liked Mike McCarthy. I don't think he was ever the problems with the Cowboys. Yeah. Now, you can make the argument for when they had the number 1 offense, how do you come out and lose to the Packers the way they did not too far back? That one's a tough one to explain. But I think for the most part, he's shown over and over again, he's put his team in really great positions. It's not all been on Dak, but there's just been some crazy moments where you're seeing NFL pros have some meltdowns on those Cowboys teams on years. I think he's a great coach, and I think he fits with the Steelers. And I think if you're going to get rid of Mike Tomlin, I don't know if I still would do that, but at least I think you're putting a guy in there who I do think is going to click really well with that system.
It's not. I don't not disagree with that, and I'm stuck between 2 different organizations. I think, and I guess outright, I'm not a huge fan of it, but because of what the staff is and what you have in the building, I like it. And that's I think the Titans. You got a defensive guy, you got 2 former head coaches that are in your building. You got an offensive guy that is known to transform quarterbacks in year 2 of your franchise quarterback. I think, like I said, I'm not huge on Saleh. Like I hope it works out and everything like that, but I think he's definitely going to be able to get pieces down there in the AFC South. That's not. I wouldn't say that's a hard conference. Yeah, you got Jacksonville, you got Houston, and you got Indy. Like, yeah, it was a good year this year, but I mean, that'll happen for 1 or 2 years, and then we don't know what that has. So I think that between that and Harbaugh up in New York, but I think that the Titans one was a huge snatch.
Yeah, and then John Harbaugh is kind of the way up there, and I think more people are hard pressed to believe that wouldn't work than it would. So I think John Harbaugh is a good hire. I kind of forgot about him off the top of my head, but I still like Mike McCarthy a lot. Don't get me wrong, and I'll be honest, the Raiders, that's a good grab. Like, that team needs some new hope and a new voice, and maybe not a guy who's I think if Mike McCarthy goes to the Raiders, it doesn't work. I think if John Harbaugh goes to the Raiders, maybe it works, but I think that program's so down in the dumps. Like, they just need some fresh energy, just a new, younger coach to walk into that building to give it some life. And I think we'll wait and see. I mean, it's a tough overhaul, but it's kind of like my Chicago Bears. Like, you just got to bring some energy and belief in there. And if you get a young guy who's up and coming, sometimes that can stir the drink. So it was my home run pick. No, but I do like it for the Raiders a lot. Final thing I got, because I was going to ask you about the Super Bowl halftime show. First off, did you like the halftime show, Bad Bunny?
I think the visual of everything and what the movement and representation of it and everything like that speaks volumes. There was underlining stories, I think involved with that. Now, did I understand any of it or most of it? No, not at all. But was it very entertaining and everything like that? And did it bring up a lot of things that are in other people's culture and whatnot? Absolutely. So I mean, I don't feel like I wouldn't say I had a problem or anything with it. I got to brush up on my bilingualness. I gotta get right. I gotta get Duolingo and some other things like Rosetta Stone. I gotta get on it.
Yeah, that was I mean, for me, I didn't care for it, but it wasn't for me. Like, just go look at the numbers. I think it was like the number one watch Super Bowl halftime show. People loved it. They weren't going for your average NFL fan.
It was a lot going on, and like I think showmanship wise and the representation of like I said, of what they were trying to do and everything like that, I think they did a fabulous job.
I thought the production of it was really good. Not my music, but like I said, that's fine. And most of the time, these halftime shows, it's never the person I want, anyways. Like, if it was up to me, I like go bring.
I mean, he's a huge star, regardless of what
exactly
people say anything like that. Like he's very, very big international here in the U.S. and everything like that. Like he's a home run hitter.
Yeah. That's kind of where I landed on it. Like, not my type of music, but I thought the production was still good nonetheless. I didn't have any problems with it. What is the worst halftime show in your lifetime?
The worst?
And while you think about that, just because there's some of these that are funny, like in Super Bowl 23, they had Elvis Presto. It was just an Elvis impersonator. It was horrible.
Terrible.
In Super Bowl 29, they had Indiana Jones featuring Tony Bennett and Patti LaBelle. It was like a live action.
They were still trying to figure things out, apparently.
And then you had Up With People over and over and over again back in the day. The one in my lifetime that kind of sucked, Maroon 5. The production of that just fell flat on its face. I thought it'd be good because like enough people know Maroon 5. Like, I think the crowd will get into it. Flat. It was just flat the entire time. Wasn't the worst, but I was just kind of disappointed. I remember watching that one thing. I'm like, that was kind of a dud.
I'm trying to think. There wasn't too many halftime shows that I really paid attention to and everything like that.
Weekend? I thought that one was all right.
Like I said, I'm trying to remember outside of maybe like the past 3 or 4 years.
You've had like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Beyonce. I think Rihanna did one as well.
I'm trying to think who else. Usher, I think Usher. He did one a few years ago. I think his was nice. Was that Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake? That was a halftime show, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one sucked. I'm with you there. That one.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say all that. I mean, but I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah, maybe that's a strong word. Wasn't for me. Just like Bad Bunny wasn't for me. But hey, if you loved it, congratulations.
I love Janet. Janet's up there.
Justin Timberlake, though. Yeah, like I said, like I don't care. If you like his music, fantastic. It's just everyone's got their own music taste, and that one did not hit for me. I'm a simple guy. I thought like Green Day for the opening ceremony, like for me, that's what I wanted as my halftime show. But I understand why a lot of
who would you want to do it next year? I don't even know where the Super Bowl is next year, but
I think
who would you
Cudi,
if you had to pick, who would you want?
Kid Cudi, I think would be fun. Or give me a good rock band, honestly, like just a good rock band. But with that being said, we're running out of time. We might have to open this conversation up another time. This has been the Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Ours. Don't go anywhere. Myself, Nick Wyman, up next.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith